Summary: African History and Heritage. K. The sixth class. Today we learned that singing songs in Kiswahili actually helps you to remember the words better. We also visited the modern-day country of Angola, ancient Ndongo, to visit the history of Queen Nzinga. Queen Nzinga was a 17th century warrior queen from Ndongo and the Matamba kingdoms. She was born in 1583 and had two sisters, Makambu and Kifunji Mbande. Queen Nzinga has become world famous for what she did when she approached the Portuguese colonializer, who had a meeting with her and wanted her to sit on the floor, and she got her servant to kneel down and crouch like a stool, and she sat on his back and commenced the meeting as a true leader. Blessed love. Give thanks. Give thanks continually for the life giver and blessed love. Welcome to the Tiger's Nest, all of those who would be just joining us, specifically via the internet and the different platforms that you would find on the internet. Just a continuation of the shock of the hour, and give thanks for those who have been with us even from the beginning of such. Just an intermission that we took there to, get into the sounds of the Ethiopian Orthodox Church there, and I must say, very uplifting as always, very soothing, a very spiritual vibes, when it comes to the melody that has come out of the Ethiopian Orthodox Church. I must say, I definitely delight much more in, especially when you watch those old documentaries, the black and white documentaries, more so the time of the emperor, the chanting and even some of the audios. I'm telling you, the chanting and the melody is very, very uplifting. One European referred to it as, I think it's spiritual African tone mixed with a haunting something. I cannot remember what word he used, but the adjective was haunting. A sort of haunting sound, maybe a ghostly sound as such, but it's not that. It's just a spiritual, what we would call wailing sound. A wailing sort of melody, and touches the soul, and it is something I delight in a lot. What I wanted to speak about is what I consider the reality. It's just something I felt I wanted to highlight, that the Ethiopian Orthodox Church considers that the Messiah is a Caucasian. You could just say Jesus is white and all of that, but I'm very clear with the words. And I'll tell you why. It's very important at the same time. Because Jesus is white. I mean, what are you talking about? Jesus is white. That from the last time I checked, Jesus has ever been white. But the Iesus Christus of the Ethiopian tradition, he's not supposed to be white. That's just the reality. Because the Bible, when the Bible describes in Daniel, for example, when we did the program when we did the presentation, of course, the Ethiopia, for the 21st of April presentation, we were highlighting the scriptures from Daniel. And in the scriptures from Daniel, it speaks about him, the hair as wool, and the revelation talk about the feet as burnt brass and all of that. So for sure, the Christ figure that the book speaks of, whether it's the King James translation version or the original manuscript, or what it was written off of, the scrolls that were destroyed in the Alexandria temple, which scrolls were still a copy of something that was on the walls. Yeah, anywhere you turn it, the God figure is I and I, the African man. So that and so when you hear now them speak of the Christ being Caucasian, and I'm getting somewhere, I know for sure they have ones listening to I right now, whether it be Rasta, Farai, Orthodox brethren, because remember, a lot of Rastafari have left Rastafari to more go into the Orthodox faith. There are ones that are Rastafari, but they still adapt the Orthodox tradition to some degree. And obviously, you could see the love that I have for the tradition. And conceptionally, as far as the theory of the belief. Many ones would say that this ancient tradition is the tradition that Philip, gave unto the eunuch that is spoken about in the book of Acts, that has come to this time. Even if it's not the fullness, but yet still you have examples, like for example, the Batawi with the matted hair, the locks, as an ancient tradition of the Ethiopian faith. But the point here is that, at least at this moment, not just because of the pictures that you would see in certain places, like for example in Lalibela. When you go to Lalibela and you see the pictures, even if you just see it on a documentary, sometimes the image of the Christ figure is paler than pale. And you see, this is what I'm saying. And my conception is, in fact, before I tell you all of what my conception is, let me just give you my receipts and let me show you exactly why I'm saying what I'm saying. Because this is also presented in video form. And I clearly will make it known in video form that it is the head of the church, the head of the Ethiopian Orthodox Church, that says that the Messiah is a Caucasian, straight up. All right. Now, this is the current Abuna Matthias. And this is from a documentary from BBC. Just taking a little clip from it, courtesy of BBC. The Rise of Axum, the History of Africa. Just a little clip, BBC. It's people's trained, with their. And and please, let me be clear here. This is no disrespect at all to the good Abuna. In fact, all honor and respect to him in his position as the Archbishop of the Ethiopian Orthodox Church, and I mean that in full humility, as my elder as well, and the position that he holds, all honor and respect, all praises, the Emperor Haile Selassie I. Now, the host of this documentary, Zainab Badawi, give thanks, she will ask the good father here, the Holy Father, if I think that's the right title for the church, for the Archbishop.
Yeah, it's actually known as Abat.
Abat, okay. For the Abat, part 9. About the color of Christ and what she sees, and some places she see the Ethiopian and such. And he's going to basically say that it doesn't make sense changing the color of Christ. This is what he's going to say. It don't make sense changing the color of Christ, because Christ is white, because Christ is a Jew and the Jews are white, so Christ is white. Hear this now, man. When I hear that the first time, and I said, wait.
Responsibility just for the church, not for other things.
Also, in all pictures of Jesus Christ and the Virgin Mary, Jesus Christ is always depicted as brown-skinned with soft African hair, really.
No, hold on. I know you're listening. Just give me a second. Now, she's saying all the pictures, they've seen brown skin. All right, fair enough. Okay, fair enough. But I think we know for sure that in a lot of other pictures, they're seeing not brown skin. I just wanted to make sure that part of it is clear. Mhm. Also, as I was saying before the good Abuna answers here, in reality, why I said Jesus is white, because she just said all the pictures of Jesus. And now, listen, my people, this is not a game. We have to think rationally. When they say Jesus, I mean, we know who they think they're talking about. And I mean that. We know who they think they're talking about. But the reality is, there is a character that was created, made up. I think we all know the Serapis story, and even Zeus. Now, the reality is that the first Zeus himself was black. That's the reality. But when Zeus was, and Zeus became white after a time, but when Zeus morphed into Jesus and all of that mixture in the pot and Jesus came out, Jesus is white. And Jesus has a specific concept that comes with it: birthdays, place of birth, complexion, the nativity story of Jesus, and all of these different things, because Jesus is basically a very well set out and wonderful allegory that has been put in realistic terms and actually tried to apply to history, plus falsified. And people buy into it. That is Jesus. And that ain't African. That's not black. Now, as I said, it's just comprehension. So when one says, you know, the pictures of Jesus, for example, the Ethiopians are not supposed to be saying Jesus. It is Jesus Christus. So even if she says that, I would expect that he understands that well, she's really talking about Jesus Christus. And maybe even when he answers in English, he might say Jesus, but he's supposed to mean the Jesus Christus, the understanding of the theology. And from ancient times, even the picture you just saw there of the brown skin family, from ancient times, any one of you who studies Ethiopian history, man, we have books. There was a book, I don't even know if the princess could remember that book, a big book I used to have with full pictures of the Ethiopian art going back into the centuries, going back. I never see nothing as pale as what I just saw a while ago. And she's considering those brown. I definitely never saw no European image of Christ or any of the prophets in that book. And this book is carrying you way back from the ancient times, you know. So I'm saying all of that for a reason. Don't think I'm just taking up the talking. I'm saying all of that for a reason. As we, you know, pass it over onto the good Abuna now. His answer to the question.
Because that's very different from how he is depicted in European paintings.
Well, you know, of course, some people do the Ethiopian face. They make the picture like their own people. For example, in the Caribbean islands make like their own face, dark color. But we believe that Jesus Christ is born from Jews, these white people. It's not important to change the face, the whiteness. So.
But you're surrounded by paintings of both Jesus Christ and the Virgin Mary looking like Ethiopians, brown with a soft afro.
They do people, but Saint Mary also is Israelite, so it's not very important to change the face of our Lord Jesus Christ and Saint Mary, because they are Jews. They are Jewish.
No, just a moment there. Okay, so basically you heard what he's saying. Well, first of all, the thing with the Caribbean, I mean, he said, like, for example, people in the Caribbean paint Jesus Christ to look like them. I mean, I'm telling you from my heart, no disrespect to the Abuna. Please, I just want that to be clear in all honor and respect. But which part in the Caribbean, black people will be painting Jesus Christ to look like them? What are you talking about? No disrespect. But what are you talking about? No, I'm serious. What is he talking about? I mean, Caribbean. Man, I've been up and down the Caribbean, brother. Up and down. In fact, the only place up and down the Caribbean I see, if you want to say Jesus Christ painted black, is in places that carry the Ethiopian Orthodox church flag, straight up. Now, the good brother said that, you know, it don't make no sense to change the picture because, you know, it don't make no sense to change the face of our Lord because Jesus Christ and Mary and, you know, Saint Mary, they are Israelites, they're white. It's not important to change the face, the whiteness. You know, we believe that Jesus Christ was born from the Jews, white people. The man make it clear. We believe that Jesus Christ was born from the Jews, white people. So this is the head of the Ethiopian Orthodox Church. Now, but what's the point of me making all of this, eh? And what's the, you know, what would it prove then? Because many would ask that. Well, I'll tell you what it will prove now. Like the Abuna made a key point. He said that Christ, now I would say Christ, I would take the Jesus out for the moment with this one. He said Christ was born of the Israelites. Christ was born of the Israelites. And the Israelites, this is why my book, The True Biblical Land of Israel, is important. And I'm telling you, they have so many times, you can ask my very children, they have so many times I said, you see this thing about the challenge, I can just forget that, you know, because nobody's stepping up. Yeah, and they know how hard their father worked just to get that challenge all around the earth. To the Orthodox Church too, to the Orthodox Church as well. The challenge has gone everywhere. I was going to say every year, because more than once has the challenge gone out to different places. And I'm really trying to say this in all humility. Trust me, I'm really trying to say it, because you know the passion sometimes, but I really don't want it to come across at all in no way of adversary or no disrespect. I mean that from my very heart. You understand? But I mean, if I had to sit across the room from the good Abuna, man, if it's Bible we talking, there's no way we could have come out with what he said. If it's Jesus Christ he talking about, if it's Jesus he really talking about, well, maybe he's talking the truth. But I know it's not Jesus he's supposed to be defending. He's supposed to be defending Jesus Christus. And Jesus Christus is not white. And his own culture proves that. And this is going to get hot with some man now. Because there's a picture that is going around. Well, I haven't seen it making a circle for the moment. It's a painting of Haile Selassie I kneeling to a Christ figure. Have you seen the picture? Come on, don't be playing with me now. Have you seen the picture? I don't have it, you know. I don't have it. I don't have it. I don't have it. I don't have it. I've seen the picture. Some man does that, and you know what I mean, like But the picture now, the picture is a strong image of a European-looking Jesus figure, and the emperor is kneeling. It's a picture. Well, obviously, got to be a drawing. You can't, you know, what is the emperor is kneeling. All right. So, and Hebrew Israelites use that a lot. Eh? I don't think anyone ever fired that at me. I can't recall. But I mean, I ain't gonna dodge from them kind of things. I see the picture. What are you talking about? And listen, it's not just a picture. It's a picture that it appears as if it's on the emperor's desk, but the emperor took a picture with the picture. So obviously, so I've heard in many different circles, I see different places on the internet, and I've been in reasonings about that. And the Rassis are strong to say, listen, man, maybe it's a gift that somebody give the emperor. You don't know how the emperor stay. Come here when you look at the picture, and you see this is it. You cannot run from it, because the Ethiopians are known. Listen here what the big man said here. I don't think he just changed that overnight. Eh? Here where he pushing there. I think it changed sometime. I get into a point. But hear what he's pushing here. The good Abuna. You hear what he's defending. That the Ethiopian church vibes is that the Christ is a white man. That's what the man saying, clear up. And somebody might be out there, I wonder if them people still exist, that might be saying, well, my brother, it doesn't matter what color Christ is. This is, you know, His Majesty said that one day, wait, hold on. What are you talking about? Well, you see them kind of thing, this is what mash up people's head. Eh? We're not talking about that. We're talking about a culture owning its identity. Where you going with that? In fact, this is not even religion. This is about a culture owning its identity. You see the chains the brother has on here? If you look at these chains, pardon me, these chains, the chains, pardon me, that the Abuna and the high officials would wear, these chains actually depict the Christ and Mother Mary and the apostles in very pale complexion, very, very pale complexion, the chains that he has on. You know, remember they have an Ethiopian Orthodox church here in Antigua, man, you see it, you know, it's like, well. And we as Ras, again, we will try to say, well, man, it's after Mengus to take over. You see, man, we can be quick to say some things, eh? After Mengus to take over, you know what I mean? That man change up the whole thing. But I have seen pictures with Abuna Basileus and Abuna Theophilus with the same sort of chains and on their crown. In fact, there is a video, and some of this should be audio, but for those that can see, and I will just say for those who are listening via the radio broadcast, that's where they can find it, because I'm going to show it to my audience now. Let me find it here. All right, I think I have it here. Now, I just wanted to go through this with me. It will take a bit, eh? Where's the chalice? It's going to take a bit, but it's a nice little watch, a nice watch, nice watch. I think many of you may have seen it already. Yeah, what it is, it's got a nice piece of paper here. What it is, you're going to be seeing, you've seen it already, I'm sure. Many of you, if you have not, it's Abuna Theophilus. And Abuna Theophilus. This is 1972. So I do not think, I don't think this is the time he was actually becoming Abuna. Maybe I could be wrong, but it's in German and I don't know the German language, but it's definitely a gift thanks. It's definitely a step up in his ranks. A very nice, celebration. It's definitely an old video for those who will be watching. Those who will be listening, well, just and full joy to listener. He's a nice listener as well, since we're in the Orthodox mode. And there's a certain part where you just get a glimpse of the crown that Abuna Theophilus has on his head. And on his head, I don't know exactly who the figures are, but it might be the disciples, or I don't think, it doesn't look like the Christ figure itself. It looks like maybe some of the saints. And they're not black. But this is what I want to show you, so you could judge for yourself. And those who are listening, I can point you to the documentary if you've never seen it. It's Haile Selassie documentation. You remove the C and put a K. It's in German. Stern TV, 1972. How you pronounce this? Deutsch/German. I'm sure you'll find it. And it's in two parts. This is part one. It says Teil, I guess that's part in German, Teil, 1/2. And you get straight to it, and we start in this about the 8 minute and the 36-second. So you can do that for yourself. All right, so you could judge it for yourself, the figure, because as I'm saying, the reason why I'm showing you this is because at this very time, okay, the sister is saying all the figures are dark, but we know for sure that they do have many other type of figures of the Christ in Ethiopia. And then the head of the Ethiopia, the Abuna himself, he's not saying, well, Christ may not be black, he was kind of brown skinned. Nothing. He's saying Christ is of the Jews, white people. That's the man making it clear. And when you look at his chains, and I was also looking for that, a picture of that I actually have here, the calendar. These are the real Jesus, not almost looking the real Jesus, the white, everything fullness, real lily hair business. So I'm just saying that now to highlight to you that I've also seen, even in this time, the time of Haile Selassie I as Emperor of Ethiopia, as we're looking at this documentary. And so I've seen different pictures, literal pictures, not videos now. That is the problem. These are in different books where you see the Archbishop, well, colorful pictures, the Archbishop, different manuscripts that, like, they just come off the scenes. You ain't gonna find these in no library, nowhere. And you would see the Abuna, same Theophilus that you're going to see now, and even Basilis with the pictures on the chain, the 3 chains that they wear. I cannot give you the exact name of the chains, but the figures they're definitely not of the African stock. Let me put it that way then. They're definitely not of the African as we know it stock. They don't even look up as the Ethiopian stock. They do not look, from my judgment, as the black artwork that you would see in the monasteries, even in the churches of the angels and these ones. They don't look like that. They definitely look like some of the pictures that you find in places like Lalabella now, that the priests pardon me, tell you that they put there for the tourists. This is what those, I've never been to Lalibela as yet, but this is what those who have been there have said. Not one person, several people tell me that yeah, man, them fellas say, listen, because you know, when we go there, we question, hey, what are you dealing with? Yeah? There's a video Asher Crazy had when he had them tied down, like, what are you dealing with? And he said that, listen, man, you know, we put these pictures here so when the tourists come, they can see these. That's what they say. That's what they say. But here, what the head of the church say, that Jesus why. Right. So anyway, I want you to full enjoy this with me, and when we reach to the area where you could get just a glimpse of the picture that the Abuna has on his crown, we will just examine it, because it's I haven't come personally. I would say the jury is out on my behalf, but I'm sure you could assist me in that department. Let us watch this, man. Nice little vibes.
Jahr durch unser eigenes Volk gewählt wurde. Das wird unsere Bemühungen unterstützen, es geistig und moralisch immer weiterzuentwickeln.
In Äthiopien ist die Kirche ein Bestandteil der Regierung, wie umgekehrt das Land untrennbar mit der Kirche verbunden ist. Kein Fortschritt ist möglich, wenn er nicht vom anderen Teil sanktioniert
My mic was muted there. I was just saying a moment ago that just to show you that even before we even look at the crown, we almost don't even have to look at the crown, because this for sure is showing you without a doubt, you know, this is the mother and the child, and the Holy Mother and Child does not appear like how the present Abuna is describing the child. Now, even the angels on the side as well, you could see these are African in origin. These are black figures for sure. And this is in 1972. All right. So even if a person may say these are not the blackest of the black, but for sure they're not white people. And this is the exact term that he used, that Christ is a Jew, and the Jews are white people. So we shouldn't change the color. That's the head of the Ethiopian Orthodox Church, I tell you. All right, let's go.
Verbunden ist. Kein Fortschritt ist möglich, wenn er nicht vom anderen Teil sanktioniert und unterstützt wird. Wie verschlungen Staat und Kirche, wie eng die Beziehungen zwischen Kaisertum und Patriarchat sind, das wurde sichtbar am 9. Mai 1971 in der Dreifaltigkeitskirche in Addis Abeba, bei der Krönung seiner Heiligkeit Abuna Theophilos, des Patriarchen von Äthiopien. Wir leben in einer Zeit, da der christliche Glaube von starken Kräften aus verschiedenen Richtungen bedroht wird, sagte der Patriarch. Mit eurer tätigen Hilfe, zusammen mit der Unterstützung aller anderen christlichen Religionen, hoffen wir, die Angriffe abwehren zu können, zum Guten der Kirche Jesu Christi. Wir hoffen, den Weltfrieden zu bewahren, dem Bösen zu trotzen und das Üble zwischen den Völkern verhindern zu können. Vor allem die Diskriminierung bestimmter Menschen, bestimmter Klassen, bestimmter Rassen, bestimmter Nationen. Wir sind in Äthiopien mit Dankbarkeit erfüllt, einen Kaiser zu besitzen, der sein Leben der Kirche.
Now look at this picture here. Now, as I said, for sure, without a doubt, what we just saw on the wall is totally, there's no question whatsoever that that is not in alignment with what the good Abuna Matthias, our elder, in all due respect to the elder and the patriarch of the Ethiopian Orthodox Church, but it's not in a line with the concept that he has. I don't know if that's a personal concept he has, or if it is a concept coming from down the line, traditionally speaking, from even this time. Because again, there is the balance of the black and the European outlook of the Messiah in Ethiopia, because Miss Badawi,
Yeah, Badawi.
Badawi, she clearly said that everywhere she goes. I'm purposely repeating these things, you know, because it's an important topic. She's clearly saying that everywhere she goes, she's seeing a black face. All right, good. And the head of the church that deals with all of that, showing them, well, people don't have to do that really, you know, people do that because they want it to look like them. That's what the brother says. People do that because they want it to look like them. People in the Caribbean paint Jesus Christ to look like them. So he dealing with it because as a European figure, well, as white, not European. I know why I say that. Because if the Jews is the Jews, if the Jews today is the Israelites of the Bible, in no way or form should they be European. In no way or form, they should have nothing to do with Europe. Yeah. So this picture now, although we don't get a full view of it, at least from my perspective, this sort of looks like an afro here. The video is not to the clearest. But I said I would put it to those who may know a bit more of this culture than myself. But the little I know in observation, again, yes, even in the time of the emperor. And remember, we're dealing with geopolitics too. All of this could be something that is the theology of the church, an internal tug of war, you know, that some historians would have, you know, written about, that internal tug of war, even up down to the identity of the Messiah. When you have one faction that try their best to do as much paintings as him being black, while there's another that believes like the current archbishop, who were just waiting to get into power so they could paint him as white as they could get him around, because that's what they actually believe. People promote what they believe. So yes, in the time of the emperor, you would see some of that. A lot of it, a lot of the tides. Remember, there's a break from the Egypt Coptic Church. There's a break from the Egypt Coptic Church. Politics, again, ones have to understand that. So when His Majesty Haile Selassie I, when he appointed the Abuna Basilisk, and he broke away totally, because the break began earlier, even before he was emperor. You know, certain sovereign rights were already given to the Ethiopian Orthodox Church, away from the Coptic Church. And then when he brought forth the Abuna and totally separated and made Ethiopian Orthodox Church an independent church, that's politics. When they say Pluto is not a planet anymore, that's politics. There are people within that same, you know, astronomical environment that still protesting and telling you Pluto is a planet. I mean, professors and doctors, PhD on the subject. So a lot of this in reality is not just holy worship and praise the Lord, it's politics. Because clearly in this inauguration here of the good Abuna there, Theophilus, well, his history is another thing at the end of time, still at the end of his time. But in the time of the Theophilus here, going through this ceremony, it's obvious, according to our paintings, that the Christ and his mother were seen as black people. The angels were seen as black people. So now with all of these different paintings that we see in Ethiopia now, in different parts, representing the European figure and the head of the church saying that he's a European. So this figure here, I don't know if it's because of the light or because of the camera, but you can, even in the comment, say what you think, you know, if it is a black person or a white person, because as far as I can see in the modern day time, when you look at the attire, as I said, of the very same Abuna, the figure is much more European than how this appears. You know. But at the same time, You could tell me what you think, you know, you could put it forward. Yes, you could put it forward. For those who are seeing this and those who are listening, I already gave you information where you could go and look at this in its fullness. So, but really, that is what the brother says. And that's what the church, I would believe, stand on. I don't know if you're a member of the Ethiopian Orthodox Church. I don't know how you look into that subject area. I don't know if you knew that that was the outlook, because I know members of the Ethiopian Orthodox Church that I know they don't believe this. So you got to tell me, and they know that there's politics within. They know that. You know, my good brother that was here with us, Haile, brother Haile. Yeah, yeah, like that. That was here with us, you know, Mikael. He, from my understanding, we never really got into that sort of reasoning. But I would have been, it would have been interesting to hear his outlook on a subject area like this. And if you're an Ethiopian Orthodox Church member, I would like to hear what you think about that, if that's your outlook on it, because I mean, this is the head of the church, you know. This is not to say like your pope, but the head of the church, let's put it that way. So I really like to get a clarity on that one, because he was very clear. You know, he was very clear. It's not no mistake. It's not what maybe he made. No, he made it very clear that people only painted black because they wanted to look like them. He made it clear. And it don't make sense that they do that. They should leave him how he really is. And how is that? He's a Jew, and Jews are white people. So Jesus Christ is white. It was very clear, straight up. And he even advocated to the point that he said, listen, man, people should stop that. So I found that interesting. And I thought I should share that little nugget. I know it went far and went into all sorts of different things, but you know, this is how we do it here. This is the shock of the hour actually coming to you. You know, we joined this with the radio broadcast this evening, so there are those also checking this on the audio as well, and as well as those touching into the video at the same time. So you got to look into all of these different things. Look, this is what happened now. You know, see, and it's a shame that the Orthodox Church, even the Orthodox Church, would reach to a point, you know, reach to a point where the Jesus Christus really become Jesus Christ. That is some sick stuff, man. That's real heavy, you know. But again, there are those that know and have the understanding of even the inside works as it relates to the state and the church and the battle therein. Man, it's some serious battles, man. You know, serious battles that even history itself has not revealed to us. Yeah. So give thanks again for your presence with us. Give thanks for the life giver and the keeper of life. In all good doings and all good saying. Yeah, man, it is blessed. If you know your Bible and you do not know your history, the knowledge of your Bible will become a mystery. And remember, it takes some to realize the real lies that are amongst us. Selassie, Jah, Rastafari. Blessed love, give thanks for your presence. Of course, it is your brother, the Honorable Priest Isaac, here with you. I have a special offer for you today. As you can see, this is our brand new book coming out of the Priest Isaac's Institute of Holistic Knowledge. This is The Heavens Declare the Glory, Rastafari and the Cosmos, written by myself, the Honorable Priest Isaac, and of course, the whole Tiger's Nest family. And I will say definitely it is a wonderful read. It takes you into the link, the whole mystic link between astronomy, the science, and theology. the science as well. We, of course, go into the realms of the Sahu constellation, known as the Orion constellation, the whole ecliptic or zodiac belt, and show you how it connects to the scriptures of the Bible and show you how it connects to the even fulfillment of Haile Selassie I. We also use the movements of the planets and many different things to highlight different understanding and different theological outlooks internationally, and of course bringing it home to Rastafari. And that is why it is Rastafari and the cosmos, because Rastafari is extremely, not only just international, but extremely universal. But all of that is in the book. Now, as I said, we have a special offer. The book itself, that is The Heavens Declare the Glory, it goes for a value of only $20 United States currency. But we have a special offer where we are also giving you the book, The True Biblical Land of Israel. Of course, I'm sure you know of this book. This is the book on which you hear us from time to time issue the challenge, wherein this was officially, originally a theological paper. And the theory of it is that the land of Israel, according to the Bible, is Africa plus Arabia. So another wonderful read itself, The True Biblical Land of Israel, and the book Anu, Ancient and Modern Revisited. All three books are ebooks. This book goes into the spirit of the island of Antigua, 108 square miles, where I was born. Please don't take it simple at all. It also highlights the connection with the heavens and the megaliths on the special hill known as Mount Anu, also referred to as Green Castle Hill. Of course, another wonderful read. So as I'm saying, each of these books go for the price of $20 United States currency, but we are offering now for a limited time all three manuscripts. As I said, these are ebooks. We are giving you all three books at a price of only 50 United States currency dollars if you order all three books. And listen to this, more than that, you will also get, hear this good, a 1 month free subscription to the nightly radio program, being the Shock of the Hour. So every day, the Shock of the Hour would be sent to you via your inbox, in your email, the Shock of the Hour, and you will get it specifically each and every day. If you order these three books, value $50, and you also get the Shock of the Hour free. All you have to do is contact us via email, priestisaac27@gmail.com. And even at a time like now, I am sure that the extra information and inspiration and more knowledge and more vibration will definitely do each and every one a bit of good. So I'm looking forward to hear from you, and continue to watch much more information and inspiration coming your way. Holy Emmanuel, Selassie, Jah, Rastafari, the heavens declare the glory. The 19th Psalm, yeah. Summary, astronomy, K, class 6. Venus is the second planet from the sun. The atmosphere of Venus is made up mainly of carbon dioxide. Its size is slightly smaller than that of the Earth. It also features gravity similar to that of Earth. Venus is the brightest object besides the moon that can be seen in the night sky. Venus is surrounded by clouds consisting of mercury and sulfuric acid, and Venus is even hotter than Mercury. Blessed love.